On today's show, find out about SFA's very own study abroad program and how you can learn Spanish while living in Spain. We'll also talk about some of the things the students experience while abroad. Fasten your seatbelts. SFA Now starts now.
Bienvenidos. Welcome to SFA Now. My name is Natalie Haddad, and today we will be going on adventure with one of the leaders in SFA Spain Study Abroad program, Professor Juan Carlos Ureña. How are you today?
Thank you very much. Very good. And how are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Better that now that you're here and you're here to tell us a little bit about the program. So let's go ahead and start with that. Can you tell us what your role is in the Study Abroad program?
Well, I am one of the organizers of the program. The other the other co-director of the program is Dr. Carlos Cuadra, who is actually from Madrid.
Oh, okay.
I am originally from Costa Rica. And Carlos and I are the organizers. This is a long process that began 1 year earlier. So when we proposed the program to the university and when the university approved the program, we start recruiting students. And we are very lucky because the study abroad program in Spain is one of the most popular programs in the university.
So what is the purpose of the study abroad program? And I know you said that your partner in this is from Madrid, but
yes.
Is there any other reason that you specifically chose Spain?
No, well, for many reasons. Spain is the first country, the mother country of the Spanish language. However, we need to be aware that Spanish is not the only language that is spoken in Spain. They have Catalan, they have Basque, Galician, Valenciano. So there are many other languages in Spain, but Spanish is like the Castellano will be the correct name. Is the mother tongue of all Latin America. Now, of course, in Latin America, have different new changes. The same thing happened with the English from England to the America, to English, American English. So, beside that, Spain is a beautiful country. It has an amazing history and a long history, and we want the students be experiencing in person the culture and the history of Spain.
So it is pretty important that they are involved, or rather immersed in more than just the Spanish language, and there's so much to see.
Exactly. You cannot take all the advantages of a language if you only study the grammar. That would be very boring, actually. If you get involved in the culture, if you are immersed in the culture, living with families, and that's the purpose of all our program. We have programs, our department, languages, cultures, and communications. We have programs not only in Spain, we have programs in Brazil, France, Canada, Costa Rica. And the purpose of that is the students are be immersed in the language and in the culture. That combination is what gives you what you really need to be more motivated to learn a second language or a third language, but at the same time to be sensitive to differences and to other cultures.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that we know why studying abroad is important, let's take a closer look at some of the students who traveled almost 5,000 miles to learn Spanish.
SFA's study abroad program to Spain is based in Madrid, the national capital, where coursework and cultural activities for the students will be primarily centered. Here, the student will live with the host family, take courses taught by native Spaniards, visit world-famous museums, stroll through parks, and tour the royal palace.
We'd go to class, probably have what we would consider a half day, and then maybe see a museum afterwards, and then just kind of hang out and do lunch together. I live pretty close to the school. It took me about maybe 20 minutes. You hop on the metro with your little map and try not to look lost or like a tourist.
The students get the opportunity to visit various Spain cities, such as Barcelona, home of La Sagrada Familia, Segovia, well known for its Roman aqueduct, Córdoba, famous for La Mezquita, or the Great Mosque, Toledo, Sevilla, and Granada.
From what I heard from everybody, the experience was worth it in the end. So if you have any interest, if you think it'll benefit you in any way, whether it be related to your career or not, I say go for it.
The students' grades are based on their in-class work at San Pedro University and the reflection on the different museums and famous landmarks visited. At the end of the semester, students get a free weekend and a chance to travel anywhere in Europe, making their opportunities endless.
Well, that seems like a really fun adventure. So how did you travel all of these students to Spain? I mean, of course you took the plane overseas, but what happened once you got there?
Well, that's a very important part because it's not easy. Imagine that if you are traveling with 4 people with your family, how will be traveling with 20 or 26 plus 3 professors, like almost 30 persons traveling. That part is not easy, but it's always fun. That's when the emotions start. But once that we arrive there, normally in Madrid, the Estudio San Pere, people from the Estudio San Pere are waiting for us at the airport, and they take us to downtown Madrid where the families are waiting for the students. Mm-hmm. So at that moment, the students met the families, and they go with the families. Normally we arrive on Sunday. There are some cases where the students have arrived on Saturday, but normally we arrive on Sunday, and classes began on Monday.
Mm-hmm. So what did a typical day for a student look like in Spain when you went?
We have classes every day from Monday through Friday, not weekends. But we have a lot of field trips. So some days, a normal day when we have classes, students come to class at 9, they have a break at 10:30, from 10:30 to 11, and they have the second class from 11 to 12:30, an hour and a half each class. That's every day. Some afternoons are completely free, including the evening. In Madrid is a city that has live basically all night. Mm-hmm. So there are tons of things to do. Some days we have a visit to museums or historical sites in Madrid. And other days we have a day trip, for example, to cities that are close to Madrid, like an hour out of Madrid, like Toledo, which is the medieval capital of Spain, Segovia, and Escorial, San Lorenzo del Escorial. So we have a field trip, but basically students have the opportunity not only to come to class, but they have time to do a lot of things and be immersed in the culture.
So you mentioned the museums and the landmarks that you saw. Can you elaborate on what that was like?
Well, Spain has a lot of museums. Right now, the first museum that comes to my mind is El Prado, which is one of the best museums in the world. It's going to be one of the top museums in Europe. El Museo del Prado has obviously the best collection of art in Spain and one of the best collection of art in Europe. So that's probably the first museum who comes to my mind. But we have other museum of natural history, museum of archaeology, where we see more the history of Spain. I think that those are the museums that I remember at this point.
So the summer of 2015 in Europe, terrorism threat was at an all-time high. And I know that you had just mentioned that this past summer you had one of your largest groups travel to Spain. So especially back in 2015, how did that make you feel as leaders, knowing that you were going to take such a big group over to Europe when it's, terrorism isn't exactly something you can predict happening?
Exactly, yeah. Well, yeah, we are always worried for that. It's a concern. It's something that we don't want that happen. We have been very fortunate. We never had any problem. Even when it's very bad, the terrorism, the possibilities, the real possibilities, the chance that you be in a terrorist attack are very small in proportion with the population, etc. But it can happen. It's a possibility. In fact, when we were with the group in 2016, the terrorist attack in Nice, when a truck ran into a lot of people, it happened. A lot of parents were very scared. Some parents wanted the student to go back to the United States. At the end, well, we were very safe in Spain. Nothing happened in Spain. But at the end, everybody calm. This last year, we went to Spain, and when we came back, the terrorist attack in Barcelona happened. The similar attack when a car hit a lot of people and killed a lot of people. The university, Stephen F. Austin, helped us giving a training by officers who knows very well this topic, this situation, and give us to us and to the students. It's a mandatory training for everybody in a study abroad program, where they give us tips. What you will do if a terrorist attack happened? If you are at home, if you are at the school, if you are in the streets where you have to go. So they give us a lot of tips to know what to do in a situation like that. Yeah, it's something that makes us very worried, but we try to be the best as prepared as possible, the best prepared possible.
Well, we're very fortunate that SFA takes those precautions, and here we're very glad nothing's ever happened to any one of our own while over there. So before we go, what can students do if they, or what do they need to do rather, if they want to get involved in the study abroad program to Spain?
Yes, several things. The easiest and fastest thing is you can go into the website, SFA website, look for international programs, the Department of International Programs. There you are going to find study abroad programs. You click there, and it's going to take you to all the study abroad programs that we have. SFA has a lot of programs in India, in Italy, in Spain, France, Costa Rica, and many other countries, Germany. So you can go there and read about the program. At this moment, you can do that right now. You can go to the 4th floor of the Liberal Art North building and talk to Inés Maxid, which is a wonderful person, and she will give you all the information you need. She's the person in charge of study abroad programs. Or contact the professors who are organizing those programs. Our department is one of the most active departments in the study abroad program. So
you have a lot of options.
You had a lot of options.
That's good. Well, unfortunately, this is all the time we have for today. Gracias a todos, and thank you, Professor Juan Carlos Ureña. I'm Natalie Haddad, and this was another episode of SFA Now.
Thank you.